I just wanna run it up.
Can we check or something?
I've been really in the field, yeah. I've been really in the field, let the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah.
Kinda check or something.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Count that too, count it up, count it up.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the sink, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T-Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with...
This your boy Cole with Cole Cowboys Sports Report, where I bring you the latest and greatest content of the Dallas Cowboys. I got my guy George Carmi in the building. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up, talk about this NFC East showdown tomorrow between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. Thank you for having me on today. I appreciate it, bro.
Hey, thanks for coming on, man. Hey, tomorrow it's gonna be one of those good old-fashioned showdowns, man. Do you feel it's gonna be the same showdown that we used to have in the past?
I hope so, man. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to, man. The past couple games, Commanders haven't been showing out at all, man, against the Eagles or against the Lions. I kind of want to show something this game. So we're wearing that battle black. I don't know if you guys peeked out yet. Wearing a black jersey coming in on tomorrow. So hopefully we get some swag and energy coming in next week. We'll see.
Hey, and just to pivot into that, do you think Dallas Week is still a thing out there in Commanders land?
I think so, man. I think it depends. We kind of like our fan base went through a lot for the past couple of years, bro. We had a name change. We've had, ownership change, not ownership change, but like, president change, front office going flipping over here, there. I think we want it. I think we want a nice competitive Dallas week, but we've been down. It's just so funny because we both have been up at the same time, right? Cowboys or the Commanders, whatever happens, right? Like one year y'all doing well, we do bad. Flip it around another year, we can't be good at the same time. So I want that to happen. I wanted to get going, but if we win tomorrow, I think it kind of puts puts it back in a little bit. We'll see how it goes.
Hey, man, I feel you. I feel you on that because with the whole Dallas week, of course, we don't do Commanders week and stuff. I like out of all the teams though in our division, I view Redskins. I view that as the real rivalry. We used to play against each other on Thanksgiving Day all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I like the theme of it. I like how our jerseys were. Y'all had the yellow pants and I remember.
The headdress and all that stuff. Yeah, it was definitely some, on Thanksgiving, it was awesome. It was like that. Yeah. It was that vibe, for lack of a better word, Cowboys versus Indians, right? It was kind of on Thanksgiving. It was pretty dope, actually. It was cool, man. So
I love how y'all uniforms were. I think y'all had the yellow helmet too. Didn't y'all have a yellow helmet?
We had one. Our 19 so Vince Lombardi actually came to Washington for 1 year. I don't know if you guys know the history behind this.
Yeah.
Vince Lombardi came to Washington for 1 year. He came from the Packers. He was like, I love those little Packers helmet, that yellow helmet with the green G. We're going to do the same thing with the yellow helmet with a cool R on it. Honestly, it's one of my favorite jerseys that we've had. That one and the one with the spear are my two favorite helmets that Washington's had. So we'll see. Both y'all teams don't back. Get out of here, dude.
All right. That's
one of them. Okay, I see. Okay. That's funny.
Yeah. Hey, the black jerseys that y'all have, they freshmen. I like it. See, I wish that.
I was wondering how y'all thought about it. It's cool.
Yeah, I like the See, we would never have nothing like that in Dallas. We too old fashioned. They don't want to do nothing different. They don't want to change up the jersey. We have a white helmet that's coming out.
Yeah,
it's an alternative helmet. But I like, man, just go out and let's do blackout uniforms. They'll never do it. We'll never see it ever. So
I think this was our one opportunity, Cole. I think it's our one. That's how we got it, right? So Washington was really based on tradition for a very, very long time. We had the same old jerseys, same old uniforms, same breakdown. And honestly, I've been a fan my whole life. I've been a fan for 35 years, whatever it is. It's like, dude, we got to switch it up a little bit. I feel like, burgundy and gold, I get it. It's cool. It's tradition, whatever. But I want a little bit of swag, right? It's kind of hard to put burgundy on and kind of freshen it up with clothes and stuff like that. So it's I think all the younger fans always wanted that black jersey.
Yeah.
And then basically when we were going through the rebrand, like there were a lot of focus groups reaching out to a lot of us fans. We're like, dude, get a black jersey, get a black jersey. And I think a lot of the new people, the new fans, like, I love it. I just ordered one yesterday. It's coming in the mail. I'm pumped about it. But like, there's some traditionalists that are like hating on it. Like, dude, like that's not we're like, you know, old school. Like, yeah, they're like, dude, we're like the Steelers and all that. Dude, get out of here. Let's have some fun, man. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, come on, man. So whatever.
Even
That's where
the
I'm
Steelers have like, you know, different alternate. Like they had like the stripes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They haven't worn it in a while, but they had like a whole bunch of alternative jerseys. You know what I'm saying? They old school. So yeah, like that's why I feel like most organizations just need to open it up. You know, like the old school organizations open up a little bit. You know, so I'm hoping for a blackout jersey. I'm not gonna see it. I know, but just to go ahead and pivot, let's get into this. So last week, it's been kind of a roller coaster with you guys for the past few weeks. You started off with a great victory against Jacksonville. I was very impressed with Carson Wentz's performance. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a game that, you know, kind of hunted him. The team, per se, hunted him all throughout the offseason. I mean, he had the opportunity to get into the playoffs. The Jaguars stopped preventing them from making the playoffs. You know, that pivot, you know, the owner to basically saying, hey, we're done with this guy. You know, please take him off our hands. And then he comes week 1 against the Jaguars and handles business. Then pivots over to the Lions, lays an egg. And then, of course, the Eagles. I was rooting for y'all to win that game, by the way. So on Carson Wentz, are you sold of him as the future of moving forward as a quarterback?
So that's a tough question as the future. I like Carson Wentz a lot. I really do. Yeah. So like when he first came over, I wasn't too like it was tough. You and I talked about it like before, Cole. Like going into this offseason, it was like we were big fish hunting is what we were trying to do. We were trying to get after Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, even kicking the tires into Deshaun Watson, even though that's controversial. Yeah. We were looking at that. And then basically we struck out. Basically, we tried to get them. You know, the Seahawks said we could, you know, we're not going to trade Russell Wilson on a Monday. They trade him on a Tuesday. It's kind of lying to us. And then basically we get Carson Wentz on Wednesday. And it was definitely shocking. But I'll be honest with you, I enjoy watching him play because I do think he has the physical talent to be a really, really good quarterback. Week 1, I have season tickets. I was at the game. He had 2 touchdowns in the first half. He ended the game with 4 touchdowns. We were feeling live. We're like, who the hell is this guy? We got a quarterback now. Then week 2, we start off kind of slow with our offensive line. Second half, he throws 3 more touchdowns. We ended, you know, we after 2 weeks, he has 7 touchdowns. We're like, all right, here we go. Like we have a quarterback, so feeling pretty good. Then last week from start to finish, I was at that game. Kickoff to the end, last whistle is crappy game, dude. Like 9 sacks, couldn't create anything. I think it was -1 passing yards at the half. It was a ridiculous. It was really, really bad. So like you definitely it makes you take a step back. So like we don't really know how to feel. I think he is okay. I think he's a good quarterback, but I think Washington has to protect him. I think it comes down to our offensive line. Our offensive line has been weakened, kind of beat up over the last couple of weeks, believe it or not. And Carson Wentz tends to hold on the ball a little bit. So it's kind of a bad matchup right now. But if Washington kind of rectify that and put a nice offensive line to protect him, I think he will do all right. I think we have the offensive weapons. It just comes down to, can we give him time? So I'm not out on him yet, but I'm not 100% going to commit to him yet either. I'm kind of in the middle, wait and see approach for me.
Yeah. Well,
it wasn't a bad trade. I'll jump on this when we answer it. It wasn't.
I mean, they got Daniel Jones, man. So.
Yeah, but the thing is this, right? The funny thing is people that don't really like follow the team that much are like, oh, why would you trade for Carson Wentz, right? So we traded 2 third-round picks to get Carson Wentz. It really isn't that big of a price tag for a quarterback, right? If you guys are peeping it, kind of following it, we actually had the 12th pick in the draft, 12th or 11th, I forget now. We trade back 5 spots to get Jahan Dotson. We could have had, Jameson Williams possibly or Chris Olave, but we got Jahan Dotson, which, so far is a pretty good investment. We trade back, and we got a 3rd-round pick and a 5th-round pick. So we actually got one of those 3rd-round picks back that we basically traded away for Carson Wentz anyway. So the true net cost is just next year. And if next year Carson Wentz plays 75% of the game, it does become a 2nd rounder, which is pretty pricey. But altogether, it really is that bad of a deal. So like we needed a quarterback. Like we didn't this draft class wasn't a good one to invest in, and there wasn't really any good free agents around, and that's what we got.
Yeah, hey,
Carlos.
I mean, I like the. I was cool with the trade when y'all got him. I was like, hey, what's up? What's up? I was like, hey, he's not a bad quarterback. Now I was thinking y'all gonna get Russell Wilson. I was like, man, if they pull this off, shoot, man. But I mean, it's still, you know what I'm saying? I guess y'all shouldn't feel too bad about the Russell Wilson thing because how he looking in Denver, it ain't always, you know what I'm saying? Y'all probably saved a couple of bucks for him.
100%. I mean, for real, like, I mean, if you also looking at it that way, Carson Wentz only cost 25 mil. Like, if big picture wise, you know, Dak costs 41 right there. And like, it's just going to get more and more as time goes on. Like, Carson Wentz for 25 mil isn't that bad of a deal. And the best part about it is the way his contract's set up too. Like, if we don't like him, we could cut him this year and it wouldn't be any cost against us moving forward. But if we do basically keep him for 2 more years, he's still 25 mil moving forward. So it's not the end of the world. So it's a worthy investment.
Yeah. Hey, y'all got a good one, man. Hey, Carson Wentz, he gonna be fine. I seen that game. He was holding it down. I think that as far as y'all had to get more deep into the running game with that against the Eagles because from what I've seen, I was watching the game. The defense was holding it down. The defense was holding it down. I could say that maybe it was too much going on emotionally with Carson Wentz with that game because the Eagles they was packed. They was in there.
Crazy, dude. I was at the game. I'll give y'all some content. I was at the game, and like, it's funny, man. Like, you know, I'm cool with everybody, but like the Eagles have that crazy ex syndrome, you know, ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend. It's crazy. They're like, like laughing all crazy and wild when Carson Wentz would do some crazy stuff. They're like, you're grown adults. Like, why you act like that? They were going, they were on him. They were on him all game. It was wild. I was like, it was weird. They were like possessed almost. It was weird to see people act that way. It was crazy though.
Hey, that's how they are, man. They have
that's how they are.
They have no house training, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
It's like dogs. Like, but hey, that's how they are, man. Like, but what I noticed, the defense was holding it down until Carson Wentz fumbled that ball. Once he fumbled that ball, it was all downhill. The defense, I felt like the defense was like, here we go. You know what I'm saying? And then the Eagles came and had that run, and it's like I just saw no effort. I just felt like maybe that kind of made them feel some type of way. They was like, okay, we holding it down, and we go there. We can do more to that. But,
you know what's funny, Cole, is going into that game, the defense was the one that was more suspect to be honest. I don't know if you've been keep people in the how close you've been on it. Yeah, like it's funny. Like our offense carried the team the first 2 games, and I was like week 3, it was like, here we go again. Our defense is going to play like crap. Our defense held it down for the first quarter. But honestly, Cole, I think it really was. They just got burnt out. They were just tired, man. They were constantly on the field. Like, I don't think we were constantly in 3 and outs. And I don't even think like, you know, time of possession was awful. I don't have the stats off the top of my head, but it was like we didn't even we had no threat at all in order to basically even like cross the 50 or anything. So it was like, you know, and then that's the double-edged sword. Like when you start running more and more plays, I truly think that like offensive coordinators will start to figure it out, right? So the more opportunities, to score touchdowns. That's what happens over there. Jimmy G, I heard about that too. I heard about that. Yeah. I heard about basically, I think what happened was they were kind of worried about his shoulder because he had shoulder surgery, so they weren't into that.
Hey, honestly, between Jimmy G and Carson Wentz, I'd rather have Carson Wentz.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%.
You know what I'm saying? Jimmy G is a product of the system, man. And I'm really starting to see maybe the system was under Mike McDaniels than Kyle Shanahan, but you know more about Shanahan, so.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of jealous about Shanahan because I do think he has an awesome run scheme. He can basically get any running. He came from his dad. Any running back can get 1,000 yards. That Shanahan run scheme. But yeah, I mean they have Trent Williams. They got Deebo Samuel. They have Brendan Ayuk. They have George Kittle. They have players. But I mean, it's funny. San Francisco never looks impressive until the playoffs, and somehow they can end up going on a run. I don't know how they do it, but that's what they do.
That's the best way to have it too. You rather just do enough just to get into the playoffs. And then when the playoffs come, turn that switch on. You know what I'm saying? That's scary. That's very scary thing. But as far as the coaching, it's the 3rd year of Ron Rivera. Are you sold on Ron's plan?
Ron's playing. I feel like it's a Drake song. Ron's playing. He basically. So this is how I feel about Ron, right? So
Yeah.
I like Ron as a leader. I think Ron kind of needed to get our organization straight. Our organization was kind of messy off the field, on the field. A lot of losses going on, especially after Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden like led a really unprofessional. Yeah, he was. I don't know if you've peeped the pictures, but like when he got fired, he was like cheating on his wife, and he was like drunk at a bar. It was messy. It got real messy. So like Ron Rivera brings some like honesty and like integrity to the organization. Yeah. It's funny if you actually like peep it and kind of like read all the articles. Like agents want to work with Washington now. Like people want to like people kind of respect Ron Rivera. So I do like that that like integrity that he brings to the team. The only thing that I don't like about Rivera is the fact that his GM decisions. Like I respect him as a leader, but I don't respect him as like having this total coach centric approach, which he has in DC. He has full autonomy. Like one big one, you guys will peep it tomorrow, is our offensive line, right? We had Eric Flowers as our left guard. We had Brendan Sheriff as our right guard last year. They both were actually really strong players. But basically what ended up happening is we let Brendan Sheriff walk, which is probably the right decision because he's really expensive.
That money, yeah.
$18 million for a guard. I'm not paying $18 million for a guard. And then Eric Flowers, he's a free agent right now. We cut him for $10 million, but it's like they ended up getting these Carolina Panther players and putting them back in. And like, the running joke in DC, I don't know if you know this yet. It's like people that kind of hate on us a little bit, or like even like our fans, they call the Commanders the Commanders. I don't know if you heard that yet. Like Panthers and Commanders. They just keep hitting Panthers over and over again. And what pisses me off is like James Bradbury was available, the best Panther that's out there, and then let him go to the Eagles. If you're gonna let any get him, why are you gonna get everyone else? So that's what happens. So, so to answer your question, I like Ron as a leader. I don't know if he's that good X and O kind of guy. He needs to be like a CEO type of guy, and I think he needs to kind of like. I wish he would more like forward thinking with his GM skills. We'll see how that plays out.
So he does have full control with basically GM responsibility. We have
two GMs that basically in DC. What ended up happening was Marty Herney was a former Panther GM, okay, and then we had Martin Mayhew, who was a former Lions and 49er GM. Ron Rivera was interviewing them both, and he pitched it to Dan Snyder. He's like, "Yeah, I'm just really like crossed between both of these guys. I don't know which one I want." And Dan Snyder, like, he was like, he's a wealthy dude and he wants Washington to do well. He's like, you know what? If you want both, take them both. And he basically put them both on their payroll. So we actually have two GMs. And I think Martin Mayhew is more of like the NFL, like pro personnel. And then then Herney's more like the college scouting, but they kind of all work together.
Hey, one thing I could say is at least one good thing I could say about Dan Snyder as an owner on the football side is at least he knows how to have people pay people that know the game of football instead of trying to do. Now all the other stuff.
That's where our owners differ, right? They both have a lot of money. I feel like Jerry likes to be involved. Dan wanted to get involved early on, but now Dan's starting to fade out a little bit. But like, I don't know. I hope Dan fades all the way out. I want to get a new owner pretty soon. That's what I like to do. See what's up.
We'll never have that, but I mean, I ain't got nothing against Jerry Jones. I like Jerry Jones. I like the Jones family. They're packed with entertainment. They making sure the 3 and 4 letter networks have something to talk about daily. So I mean, if that's something they want to do, so be it. I'll let them. As long as we didn't win the football game, as long as we win the football games, at least some football. We don't. We're always gonna have the expectations of Super Bowl. That's never gonna go away. Because that's the narrative. It's all. I was praying for us to be like the Cowboys. They're gonna do that this year.
We talked about this. Remember this? Me, you, and Joe, or me, you, and JC. One of y'all were like, you were trying to pull the whole on the underdog route this year.
Hey, I'm buying one of them dog masks that them Eagle fans was wearing. I'm gonna give me one.
So funny.
I'm gonna get one just to piss them off. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I want us to be underdogs because I feel like if the spotlight is not on us, we could probably sneak one in. Nobody talking about it. Everybody writing us off. You know what I'm saying? But we would never have that. No, I mean, I'm literally looking at this single-handed. I'm looking at it on TV. I'm looking at the players that we got. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the moves. I'm like, ain't no way we gonna be good this year. So hey, maybe this might be the day we might shock the world. And, the Eagles looking like they about to just take over. You know what I'm saying? I want them to have that big head. You know what I'm saying? And then we sneak up and be like, hey, how y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? You know, anybody in the division, really, to be honest, you know what I'm saying? I just don't like Cowboys, Super Bowl contenders, and we ain't did that. I hate that, you know, so.
We don't like it either in DC.
Yeah. Man. I'd be like, hey, just have us be like the middle of the pack. Like, you know, like they have, like, you know, like the Chargers. Like, they don't talk about Chargers going to the Super Bowl or, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Just have us chilling. But that's just how our front office is, man. We always got to be in the spotlight and stuff. But as far as the offense, man, I did touch bases on the offense. What are your keys of victory? Do you feel like your offense found their identity, or do you think y'all are still, like, you know, wandering around seeing what y'all you know, basically what it is to win football games?
I think we're just trying to figure it out, and I think it's interesting. So over the past couple of years, our offensive coordinator Scott Turner hasn't really had a quarterback, right? We basically had, you know, we had Dwayne, Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace. You know, gotta look out for him. You know, Alex Smith. We had, you know, Case Keenum. We had a rotation of quarterback over the past couple of years, and basically, we took Taylor Heineke. Now we finally have a quarterback that's capable of opening up the offense. I think Scott Turner's excited about that. And we actually surrounded Carson Wentz with some weapons. Like, you know, Curtis Samuel is now healthy now. Terry McLaurin's a dog. Jahan Dotson was a good draft pick. We drafted Brian Robinson. So, like, our team is starting to come together. So I think he's just trying to figure it all out. And he maybe was a little bit too pass happy the first couple of weeks of the year because we kind of wanted to air it out because the strength of our offense is our wide receivers. However, I think what ended up happening is when we invested in all of them, our offensive line may have taken a step back. And I think that's kind of the issue right now. We kind of have to find a balance because, you know, one thing I'm worried about our matchup with the Cowboys is you guys have a great pass rush, right? So, like, Carson Wentz isn't anything if he's going to be constantly blitzed consistently, right? So we're going to basically see how that goes. I think the winning formula is to kind of, I think, spread you guys out. Like, I think instead of trying to, like, have like a tight formation, you know, I formation or whatever it is, or not even I formation, but, you know, like, you know, 12 personnel and have you guys kind of line up on top of each other, like, you know, our 5 versus your 5. I think we should do 4 wide receiver sets, 5 wide receiver sets, maybe 1 offset running back, and play like sideline to sideline because I don't want Micah Parsons, you know, running up on our guys. I don't want you guys blitzing on us. I want to make you guys. I want him running laterally as opposed to running forward, right? So that's kind of my goal. So quick screens to Curtis Samuel, screens to Terry McLaurin, you know, pitches, you know, not up the middle, but like pitches to Antonio Gibson to try to keep you guys on your toes. So I think that's going to be that's how we can beat you guys. I think if we can kind of like distribute the ball and kind of keep you guys on your toes instead of pinning your ears back. And then finally, just going along with that, last week we had a tough time with our passing first. Like, I love passing. That's the future of the league, in my opinion. But I think we were just caught up behind, like, down in distance, like, you know, 2nd and long, 3rd and long. And then basically the Eagles knew they could just kind of pin their ears back. And we can't be in those situations with you guys because you guys have a pretty good pass rush. I want to, you know, start running earlier on and kind of establish that as well.
Yeah. One thing I will say about our defense is just judging off the Giants game, it was just too many opportunities. Like, the Giants were really giving us a hard time. Mainly with Daniel Jones and how, like, it was just so frustrating. All the quarterback draws that Daniel Jones was doing to, you know, convert on those first downs. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of throwing the defense off a little bit. We were definitely on our toes with that. And eventually it did break off on that touchdown run. But Barkley, that's one thing I'm starting to see. Maybe the offenses are picking up on that and was like, okay, you know, maybe we need to go ahead and start running this ball, throwing, you know, just basically throwing the defense off, you know, because Michael Parsons, he's not going to be on one spot. You know what I'm saying? They're going to rotate him out. They're going to have him all over the, you know, line of scrimmage. They're going to have him middle or on either side of the edges. You know what I'm saying? They're going to rotate that out, but, you know, D-Law may have do his thing. You know what I'm saying? Kind of just trying to, you know, confuse the offense. So I just need to go ahead and start that doggone run. The run is one of our weaknesses.
The funny thing is, I was telling James today in the other podcast, I was like, we're playing you guys this week. Next week's going to be a different team. It kind of sucks that we caught you all this week. Next week, Chase Young's coming back. Next week, Brian Robinson's coming back. And you guys haven't even seen Brian Robinson yet. Brian Robinson, he was the RB1 from Alabama last year, 1,200 yards rushing, 14 touchdowns last year. He's a guy that can move the sticks. It's like, I wish we had this guy, but unfortunately, he got shot over the offseason, and basically, he's on a non-football injury list, and now he's coming back. But that second go round is gonna be more fun. But it's gonna be fun to kind of watch Brian Robinson, because I do think
him in preseason. I've seen him in preseason.
Yeah, in preseason, I think he's gonna basically he's gonna add another wrinkle to our team, because he's basically he's the guy that can fall forward. He's the guy that can gain 5 yards on first down, then it's 2nd and 5, and he start doing some more fun stuff with that. So play actions are coming into play. Gibson's explosive, but Gibson's more of like a he's more of like a sweep kind of guy, more of like an off tackle kind of guy. So I think you can't really pound the ball with him. So see how that goes.
Yeah. As far as the Cowboys, we got Cooper Rush.
Mm-hmm.
He's been doing his thing. The media is giving him a lot of attention, which I don't like. By the way,
QB1, right?
You know what I'm saying? We got a quarterback controversy, if you want to say that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. But the thing about Cooper Rush, they simplified the playbook so small. It's simple. Now I'm gonna give him a lot of credit, because he knows the offense. He made good checks out of certain plays against the Giants. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying, that led to positive yardage. You know what I'm saying? So he's very poised. He knows how, to control the ball. He knows how to take care of the ball. Mm-hmm. So one thing I hope that we stick to, even when we get Dak back, running the ball. You know what I'm saying? Keep that same energy that you did with Cooper Rush, with Dak Prescott. So we'll see how that rolls. But with Cooper Rush, all you're going to see us is RPO. You know what I'm saying?
That's good to know. That's what's interesting. So it's funny. I love watching football, and I'm like, I like to kind of think that I know a little bit about the game, right? So I was watching it, and it was like one of your go-to plays was like it was either an RPO or it was a play action. It was a play action boot. It was like it was like a play action boot where like he was going to basically fake the run to Zeke or whatever, Pollard. He basically did a little boot play, and he'd read the play high low. Be looking at CeeDee Lamb deep or not. He hit that like Ferguson or whatever your tight end would be doing a little waggle with him for a little dump off. So it was right there. So. Yeah, that's a good point by a person right there. She's right. Basically, that I gotta give you all credit on that. Like Kellen Moore, you have a quarterback that isn't high end, but he's playing pretty well because of the coaching. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. One thing whenever we when that got hurt, everybody was when that got hurt and we had that first season opening loss, I was like, man, here we go. You know what I'm saying? It was horrible, man.
Yeah.
But when he was gone, like everybody was like, "Go get Cam Newton, go get Jimmy Garoppolo." That was the highlight. Trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, and I'm like, man, we are not going to do none of this. Like, y'all need to stop. We're gonna stick with Cooper Rush or Will Greer and run with it. You know what I'm saying? That's how they do. And I had zero faith.
It's smarter. You want to take Garoppolo, but at the same time, Cooper Rush and Greer have been in the system the entire time. They know the playbook. They've been there in training camp. Like, why are you going to get somebody that doesn't even know what they're doing? It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
Pay for it and all that. Yeah. It's smart to keep you. Yeah.
Exactly. And I already knew that wasn't going to happen, so I wasn't even entertaining it. I didn't make a video about it. I was like, it's pointless. Like, what am I going to make a video about trading for a quarterback? Like, I'm not going to sell y'all no nothing like that. And I ain't selling no bull jive. I'm gonna let y'all know straight up. We going over Cooper Rush or Will Greer. We love our guys. You know what I'm saying? That's our motto down at Dallas Sky. We love our guys.
I do love you guys. That's what it is, but for real, yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. And hey, I mean, as much as I be like, hey, love you guys, we ain't gonna win, and they always manage to look at me crazy. Then look at me back and say, I told you so. We love our guys, because I was the biggest. I couldn't stand Noah Brown. Like Noah Brown.
It's funny. He came up yesterday in our conversation too. Yeah, he came out. So it's funny, Noah Brown, man. So like, he came out of nowhere. Like it's so y'all are hating on like You and James hate on Noah Brown, and I guess he must have sucked for a couple of years. I had no idea. I was watching him the other day. I'm like, damn, he's pretty damn good. I was pretty impressed by him. And like, I was thinking about picking him up in fantasy, honestly. But now Gallup's back. I was like, you know what, Brown's doing all right. But it's funny, y'all kind of get on him.
He might still. You might want to, because he might still get most of the like no. Like, okay, so let me tell you about Noah Brown. So we playing the Raiders on Thanksgiving. You know, Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb gone now. This is Noah Brown's opportunity to shine. And I'm talking about, we in overtime. All we had to do was just move the ball down the field and score. Like, I think we had stopped them. We had stopped them on offense, so all we had to do was score a field goal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he dropped the doggone ball, man. Like, he couldn't even convert. Right there, I was like, and he's been on the team for a while. So at this point, I'm like, this dude reaches ceiling, man. Like, why is he even on the team?
I feel you. We have a guy like that too. Every team has a couple guys like that. I know you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm like, man, what dirt does he have on the front office to still be on this team? Yeah. And then we had re-signed him last year. Then he didn't do no preseason games. He played in no preseason games.
Jesus.
And then they talking about him being wide receiver too. I was like, come on. And he shocked me. He shocked me. He went out there. He doing his thing. So, hey, I'm eating pro on Noah Brown. You know what I'm saying? So, but I heard you was touching bases like on Kellen Moore. Now, I will say this. Kellen Moore's doing a good job. But I like to put the highlight on Mike McCarthy. She's showing a little Mike McCarthy. I got to say, Mike McCarthy has a bigger role on his play calling than people, you know what I'm saying, think. They think they give him praise to Kellen Moore. But Mike, after game one, Mike McCarthy was basically saying, son, sit down. Open up your playbook. Let's look at this together. Because that's what you have to do, man.
That's funny. I didn't know that about you. Is that a you thing, or is that like a Dallas Cowboys fan perception on him? Because I thought he was on the hot seat potentially. I thought he was the one Sean Payton and all those guys. Is that still a thing or not really?
I mean, I'm not gonna ride the Sean Payton thing right now because I just feel like it's not fair. On Mike McCarthy, that you know what I'm saying. I mean, we were 12-5 for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was just saying.
He on the hot seat. Come on, man. I just feel like the narrative that the media pushes, they just don't like him. You know what I'm saying? They want him gone. You know, I'm like, why are we not talking about what's that Panthers coach name?
McDermott? No, McDermott. Who is it? Matt Rule.
Yeah, well, why are we not talking about him being on the hot seat? He's the highest paid head coach in the league.
Is he? I didn't know that. That's interesting. I didn't know. That's crazy. He shouldn't be. He shouldn't be at all.
Exactly. Nobody's talking about this guy. They talk about Mike McCarthy, man. Like, come on, man. Like, y'all hating on my guy. Like, come on. But I mean, yes, he has problems with clock management. He had, in last year, clock management was his weakness. But I'm like, this year, you know what I'm saying? He actually doing pretty good. He's being more involved, because Jerry Jones wanted Kellen Moore to be above, in charge of just, play calling. He wanted the whole offense. They gave him more power.
Gotcha.
And with Mike McCarthy, they was like, oh, just, throw challenge flags and whatnot. So now he's getting so. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. We'll see how it works. Hopefully he won't go back to his old ways. So, I can ask you this. What about you? What's your defensive keys of victory?
You kind of touched on it, bro. I think that's all we got to do is got to make Cooper Rush one-dimensional. That's the name of the game, man. So Washington, the strength of our defense, in theory, is our defensive line. We can kind of be up and down. Now, we have 4 first-round picks on that defensive line. Chase Young's out, but between Deron Payne and John Allen and Montez Sweat, Jamin Davis is our middle linebacker. We basically got to we basically got to just shut it down, man. Like Deron Payne, I want you guys to basically watch him over on your side, number 94. I'm sure you guys know about him. John Allen is our captain, number 93. John Allen's going to be steady. He's going to bring a steady presence. Both of those guys are probably more like pass, like that. Believe it or not, they're more like pass rushers as opposed to run stoppers. So we'll kind of see how that goes. Deron Payne's having a great year. It's his contract year, so I think he's trying to play for that and kind of make a big deal going on there. So I think the name of the game is to basically stop Pollard from having any big rushes. Like Zeke, we'll see how Zeke. I mean, Zeke's so funny because you want to count him out, but at the same time, he converts on third downs. He has some big plays every once in a while, so you do have to keep your eye on him. I think CeeDee Lamb's going to get his. You know, that's how it is in this league. If you're a strong wide receiver, he's going to have 6 catches, 60 yards, maybe 80 yards, something like that. We'll see how that goes. But like, we just have to put the ball in Cooper Rush's hand and let him turn the ball over. So that's kind of what I want to do. And honestly, generated pass rush. Montez Sweat, number 90. It's his contract year too. I love that guy. I think he could be just as good as Chase Young. Yeah. But for one reason or another, he has 0 sacks this year. He's becoming close. Like, you know, he's been like, you know, his hand is basically missing people, but he's right there. So this will be a fun game if he has a sack, fumble, and things like that. I would love it. I would love it. So we'll see how that goes. And then for real, we just gotta get a turnover. Like we've had 1 interception this year. It was the very first game of the year. It was a, you know, Trevor Lawrence bombed it as, you know, trying to throw a Hail Mary, got to pick that. But we haven't had like any natural like game-changing picks. So I was telling James yesterday, if we can have like a, you know, pick 6 or a fumble in your area of the field and stuff like that, that's gonna that's gonna cause some momentum in our way. So I want that. So ideally, win the turnover battle, stop the run. What's up, JC? What's up, bud? Pulling up the upside. I like it. Y'all, Cowboys and Eagles hate each other. I sit back. I'm like, all right, cool, go ahead. Hate on each other. It's all good. Take it.
It's good, big. Hey, I've been doing live streams, and this dude, he's waiting to see me. You know what I'm saying? He was able to see it week 1, but hey, you ain't gonna see it. I'm sorry.
I love JC. He's good people, man. I like JC a lot.
Yeah, that's the point, man. But hey, so as far as your defensive line, I have to say, man, I respect your defensive line. They're really good. I believe they might look at this game, look at last year, and be like, man, last time we was in this building, you know what I'm saying, we were made a fool of. You know what I'm saying? Let's go out here and show them. Then y'all got y'all black uniforms. You know what I'm saying? They might come in ready, right? You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
They're looking good. So you like their uniform, right? They look pretty cool, right? It's fresh, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You should have saw it. I was like, man. I was ready. Hey, it was so bad that day. I was like, man, just end the game, man. Like at this point, like it was pointless, man. I ain't feeling myself. Hey, I'm not feeling myself about beating the Giants. We were supposed to beat y'all anyway. We just had to humble y'all. It was a good 2-0. But you know what I'm saying? Y'all might bounce back against the Bears. We'll see.
They should bounce back. If they lose to the Bears, then they're a fake team. Like the Giants are still kind of up in the air. We have no idea what the Giants are going to be. But if they lose to the Bears, it's like, dude, that's a facade 2-0. Yeah, I mean, come on now. I was surprised.
Hey.
That's hilarious.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm trying to get 200. I'm actually 1 sub away. Yeah, 1 sub away. Yeah, but hey, as far as y'all defense, one guy that impressed me against the Eagles game was what's his name? St. Juice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He held his own against was he on AJ Brown?
Yeah.
I believe he was Gordon Brown. He did pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he did pretty good, man. So I was like, okay, St. Jude, you know, he had holding it down because who's that? It was
William Jackson.
William Jackson III. Is he still out? He had a back injury, right?
Yeah. So basically, William Jackson III was like our big free agent acquisition. He was pretty solid. He was pretty solid. Basically for the Bengals, he basically he was a big free agent acquisition that basically came over to us. He's supposed to be a speed man cover guy. We play mostly zone. That's kind of the problem, right? So he kind of had kind of a rough transition over here to DC. He had back spasms, some sort of back issue before the game. Yeah. Benjamin St-Juste is 6'3", 205, 210 pounds, something along those lines. He was basically playing more of a slot as the year started, but what ended up happening is he basically put him on the boundary, and he basically started, like we needed a big buyer to cover A.J. Brown. So what ended up happening was he started covering A.J. Brown. He did pretty damn well. I mean, A.J. Brown's a solid player. He's going to get his anyway. But BSJ basically, he's held it down pretty solid, and we're going to see how it goes again this week. So, I think he's pretty good. Was that Ruthless? I always talk about every time I go on any show, I promote my guy, number 31, Cameron Curl. He had a good game last week. Number 31, strong safety. He should have a good game this week as well. And I like Derek Forrest, number 22. He's a guy from Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati. Either that or Louisville. I think it might have been. Well, long story short, from a smaller school, and he basically came in as a late round pick. He's a height, weight, speed guy, and he ended up being a pretty good player in week 1. So we'll see how that goes.
Hey, I'm all for it. How do you feel about How do you feel like your linebackers? Do you think your linebackers would make a better impact?
So the linebackers that's the big controversy in DC, right? Basically, basically number 55, Cole Holcomb. He's a solid linebacker. He can play pretty good run defense, but he's athletic. Like, it's funny, like his relative athletic score, if you guys know what I'm talking about, like, going into the draft was a high 9, which basically means like compared to all the other linebackers in his draft class, he was in the 90th percentile. But like, it's for one reason or another, he's like pretty good but not good enough, right? And then we got Jamin Davis, who is our first round pick 2 years ago.
He's a good linebacker.
He's up and coming. He basically it's taken him some time to transition. He came from Kentucky. He only started 14 games at Kentucky, and basically it's a smaller program jumping to the pros. They put him at Mike his first year, where it was kind of like complex and kind of hard to kind of see the defense from that angle. But then now they put him at weak side linebacker and they're blitzing him more. So I think he's starting to play pretty good. At 52, he's on the upswing, and Jack Del Rio was getting on him a little bit. So I think he's kind of playing angry now. So I kind of like that.
Hey, that's all it takes for certain players. Sometimes you just gotta get in their face, piss them off a bit. You know what I'm saying? Let that marinate in their head, and they come out there ready to play. So as far as our division overall, I mean, we was being called the NFC least. I like that we're more competitive in this division. You know what I'm saying? Of course, sadly to say, the Eagles are 3-0. They're barking to be 4-0. So hopefully the Jacksonville Jaguars slow them down a little bit. The Giants, I mean, I believe they really will bounce back after Monday and after that Monday night game.
That was a good game. Fun game to watch. I enjoyed it.
They're actually a better team than I mean, I hate that they had, but I mean that just means more wide receivers on their end got to step up. So you know what I'm saying? As far as Daniel Jones, we clown him, but he actually have been playing. He played better underneath Brian Daboll's system, and of course,
Daniel Jones. If it wasn't for Daniel Jones, you guys would have like 10 sacks last week. Daniel Jones balled his ass off that game. For real, he's running around and avoiding sacks. It was good. He played a good game last week.
And I was about to say that he wasn't going to turn over the ball at all. Like, we went through the whole game. I was expecting the turnover. I'm like, okay, that turnover going to have to come sometime, man.
Yeah.
And it didn't come until the end of the game, but that wasn't even on him. You know what I'm saying? That's whenever Sterling Shepard, you know what I'm saying, that got hurt. So I'm like, Daniel Jones probably got a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he is very athletic. So I'm like, and then the Commanders, I feel like I don't see y'all as the same Commanders. To be honest, I see a team that's still trying to gel together. I mean, y'all have a new quarterback, and y'all still trying to work into a new system. So we will see, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not taking y'all lightly because I know
season, man. 15 more games to go. So we'll see how that plays out, right? We'll see how it goes. Okay, I will. I'll give Jalen Hurts some respect.
I will, for real. Jalen Hurts has improved, man. He has. You know what I'm saying?
Rams in trouble. Yeah. Get out of there with that. I love it. That's hilarious.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? The Rams, they not as good, man. They not as good.
Yeah.
They not really as good as they were.
The teams that I think to keep an eye on, the teams to keep an eye on, in my opinion, is Buffalo and the Ravens, man. I think it's their year, man. They're looking pretty good so far, man. For real. Both of those teams. Yeah. Wentz is better than Cooper Rush. I think you got to give me that.
I mean, he is better than Cooper Rush. I'm not
100%. Okay.
Cooper Rush is doing what a backup quarterback's supposed to do, man. That's all I got.
Cooper Rush is what Heineke was last year, pretty much. So there you go.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But hey, has anybody y'all didn't have no y'all didn't even have a quarterback to really compete with Heineke.
We got a couple people, dude. Like, I'm sure I'm deep in it, man. So I hear all walks of life when I'm talking about the Commanders. I'm sure you catch it too, Cole. But like, dude, people calling for Heineke already. Like, oh, we should put him in. We saw that New York Giant fan saying put in Sam Howell. Sam Howell doesn't even know how to read a playbook yet. Like, what's going on right now, dude? Carson Wentz is much better than both of those guys. So give us some time. We'll be all right.
Hey, just a point. Just got Joey Shakes, man. Hey, salute to you, bro. Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback. But I want to shine highlights on everybody that said Dak Prescott need weapons to be successful. I mean, Jalen Hurts need weapons to be successful too. He's doing great. I mean, they got him like MVP, candidate. You know what I'm saying? NFC MVP or whatever player of the month.
Yeah,
Like
for the month.
hey, for all the people that said that elite quarterbacks can do better with less, get out of here.
Yeah, you need more
You know
time.
what I'm saying?
You
That's
need more
not
time.
how it works, man. You need weapons to be successful. So Jalen Hurts, I mean, the front office was like here, and I love how the Eagles front office worked. Man. I hate
they got a solid off. They're the best offensive line, one of the best offensive lines in the league.
Yes.
They added a proven Pro Bowler with AJ Brown. They have running backs for days, and they're all pretty damn good. So it's like, and they have a pretty damn good tight end too. So it's like Jalen Hurts is taking another step. At the same time, it's like he's in an ideal situation too. If he wasn't playing well, then like at the same time, like that he's overrated. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but it's like a dog. If he's playing like crap, then like he has everything in front of him. So come on, his defensive line's pretty good too. So it's all good.
Hey, if y'all look back on my tweets and y'all just search, AJ Brown was traded. I did want the Cowboys to get him. So I was like, hey, AJ Brown, man, come on down to the Cowboys, man. But hey, yeah, he is a very good wide receiver. I think that he's having better years than he was at Tennessee. And from what I'm seeing, I think he truly enjoys being in Philadelphia than he was in Tennessee. I believe he was saying, you know what I'm saying, they embraced him a little bit more than they did in Tennessee and stuff. You know, you saw all the articles they did with him, you know. Whenever he moved, it was like going in on him. So
and it's a good compliment too. Like the one thing, you know, I think I like the wide receiver dynamic, like having Devontae Smith, who's like an explosive deep wide receiver. He basically, combining that with a possession wide receiver with AJ Brown is a very good combination. Like Brown's a run after catch guy.
Yep. I think she's talking about somebody else.
She's talking to me. She's talking to someone else. I don't know what she's talking about.
I think she's talking to Jason.
Okay.
You know, he over there trolling.
Okay.
So we'll get down to the nitty gritty. What's your score prediction, man?
What is score prediction? Oh my God. So it's funny, man. I'm starting to grow confidence. I'm not gonna lie. So it's funny, right? So I don't know if you saw it, Cole. There's, you know, I do a weekly one with all the content creators in Redskin or Commander Land. We all have like a big bulletin board. We put it up there together. I had the Cowboys winning, man. And I hate to say that. I had you guys winning 20-14. But talking to you and James, I mean, you guys started like I don't know, man. You guys give me a little confidence a little bit. I started to think that maybe this game might be here. I like what JC's saying, 23-20. This is what it comes down to: is can we protect Carson Wentz? That's going to be the story all year long. If Carson Wentz basically gets protected in the offensive line, I think we have a very, very good chance of winning the game. But if you guys get that pass rush going, I think you guys, what's up, man? I think basically that you guys are going to win. So that's the story of the game. Like dream scenario is that we have an offensive line that protects us, and we get a turnover. That'll make me happy. I'll be psyched. Tomorrow's my wife's birthday. We're going to the birthday dinner afterwards. I want to celebrate. I don't want to be there angry during my birthday dinner. I want to have a good time. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Hey, that'd be horrible, man. Hey, shout out to your wife, man. Happy birthday
brother.
To her.
Thanks, man.
Man, hey, go ahead and empty out that credit card for man.
100%. It's already happening already, man. So I know what you're talking about. So 100%.
Hey. Oh yeah, hey, I did a live stream with my guy, man.
That's funny.
Great guy. Hey, sub up to him. New York Jeffy T85. My bad. I thought that was the F for a minute. Hey, but for real, this guy's cool. He's a great play-by-play. Like I feel like I was sitting next to you know what I'm saying, Troy Aikman. You know what I'm saying?
All. That's fantastic.
Like he know how to do it. But hey, it was a fun live stream with him. We had a good time, but until the end of the game. That's my guy, man.
Oh yeah, y'all did a live watch together. It's pretty dope, actually.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, he's cool.
Real cool. Hell yeah.
But yeah. Hey, I want you to be confident, man. Yeah, go ahead and pick the Commanders, man. See, I think it's a jinx if they be like, oh, y'all gonna win, and then we end up, you know what I'm saying? We end up losing.
We gotta win this. We gotta win this game tomorrow. If we get a bad game tomorrow too, coming off the Lions in the Eagles game, it's gonna be a mess around here. And we need this win, man. Especially with those black jerseys. You gotta get it going, man.
For real, man. See, that's what also made me kind of nervous. I was like, man, they gonna break out the new jerseys, you know, because you know not the Panthers, but the Bengals broke out. They like
fire, dude. Those are the best jerseys in the league. Them and the Chargers are my two favorite jerseys in the league. I love those jerseys. They're awesome.
So I was like, they not gonna lose in these jerseys. So I was like, whenever I saw like y'all media guys, you know, say, okay, we breaking out the black jerseys, I said, oh man, We're gonna have to come out there ready because
Yeah,
ain't
you gotta
no
come
race.
correct too. We can't be rolling up with a black jersey and then lose. You gotta come correct. That's exactly right. So, you gotta make it
I
happen.
mean, that makes you look good, you feel good. That's what
Dion
Sanders
said.
said. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
But as far as my prediction, of course, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I got us around 24-17. 24-17.
All right.
We might break out a little bit. I might break out. This is a fun fact. For the past 3 weeks, the Dallas Cowboys only allowed 3 touchdowns on them. The defense, 3 touchdowns. 1 against the Bucs, 1 against the Giants, 1 against the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully they keep that energy, keep the score low for Cooper Rush to ease one in. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but yeah, drop your info in the chat, man. Let them know how they can find you. Where to subscribe to your channel. I actually got it on the bar too. But yeah, go ahead and put your links up for them.
Hey, man. So thank you for having me, Cole. I really appreciate that, bro. So I'm George Carmi from Full Press Coverage. I run a YouTube channel called Full Press Commander. See a lot of NFC East fans in the chat. Hit me up, man. Just search me up on YouTube. You'll find me there. Definitely, I want to add Carmi21 on Twitter. You guys can talk to me all the time. I'll put everything, social media, music, all kinds of stuff on my handle. I love talking football. That's my favorite thing in the world. But definitely just started doing this whole YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow, so follow me there. Fullpresscoverage.com is what I write for. I write for the webpage, and I also do a little, all my podcasts will go on audio. So Cole, if this works out, it'll also be on iTunes and Apple Music and all that stuff. So it's kind of cool. So it'll work out. So definitely hit me up, guys. I love to talk to you guys.
For sure, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on. Love linking up with you, man. I always love talking football with you. So with that being said, man, hey, good luck to you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We could always chime it up on Twitter like we do, and then, hey, after that, we can go ahead and troll JC. So
100%, man. Good luck tomorrow, but not too much luck for y'all. All right, good luck.
I'm pulling for Jacksonville to go ahead and show out.
Me too. That's one thing we can unite on together. Say we're rooting for Jackson. I'm a Jaguars fan tomorrow. They got a lot going on. It'll be good. It'll be good.
Well, y'all be easy, man. Thank you for coming by. Peace.
All right, brother. Peace, man.
I just wanna run it up.
Can we check or something?
I've been really in the field, I've been really in the field, lot of rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Kinda check the song.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Count that too, count it up.
Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still sit and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game.